How do I know when to quit my job to stream full time? How can I grow if I'm not good at games? And my personal favorite, LJ, what are you gonna do when you run out of ideas? Today, guys, I'm answering not only those questions, but the rest of yours you submitted. Let's go. Hey, I'm LJ with StreamScheme.com. I'm also a variety streamer over at twitch.tv/LJM_. There is a link to both of those in the description if you want to check me out while I'm live, or the guides on the website. I spend probably a little bit too much time in the Stream Scheme Discord helping you guys out. And because of that, I've realized you have a lot of questions that, while they don't warrant a full video per question, they're still really important and everyone should hear the answer to them. I'm going to try and answer all of those today for you and make sure that you have everything covered. But first, I want to tell you guys about our sponsor, Own.tv. Own.tv are a fantastic resource for streamers of all sizes. They've actually covered pretty much everything that a new streamer needs when getting set up. If you want overlays, they've got not only static overlays for your low-end PCs, but they've also got fully animated overlays that you can install at the click of a button. If you want some alerts, they've got them already set up and good to go. All you have to do is grab them. And of course, they've also got sub badges, emotes, and a bunch of other stuff if you want to check it out. I have a link in the description to Own.tv. If you want to support us, guys, please go and support them because they've been looking after the channel for a long time now. And honestly, we couldn't do it without them. So thank you so much to Owned, and thank you to you guys for clicking that link. Also down in the description, there are time codes. So if there is a particular question you have clicked on this video for the answer to, you'll be able to see exactly where that is in the video and click straight to it. But that doesn't mean you just skip all the content, right? Like, it's important. It's going to help you out in some way, right? Right? Yeah, they've skipped. Our very first question comes from literally a few dozen people. They submitted it all in the Discord, and I get this commented on my videos every now and then. LJ, what are you gonna do when you run out of ideas? Guys, I've only been creating content for a year. I'm not gonna run out of ideas anytime soon. And if I did run out of ideas, I'd probably just do Q&A videos. In all seriousness, this is a really good question because at the end of the day, most content creators, they don't last. They last maybe 2-3 years and then their channels just die. That is just a fact. Specifically though, education channels like mine are at even higher risk because it's so easy to start streaming or to start making YouTube content, but it's also so easy to give up. It means that a lot of people who come into this channel, start watching, subscribe, are going to give up after a few months when they don't start seeing the return on investment. But because I do education content, I'm able to make videos that answer questions that'll be still searched for in 2 to 3 years time. How to upload emotes, how to add action replay, how to set up Streamlabs alerts. These videos might not perform well for you guys, but in 2 years time, those videos will still be there #1 ranked. And the people who want to get into streaming are going to find that content and continue watching me. It means that maybe my videos won't get 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 views on day 1 of release. But after 6 months to a year, that's when they start seeing that because they've slowly picked up every single person who has searched for that query. So what am I going to do when I run out of ideas for this channel? Well, hopefully I'll have a channel that answers every single query and topic that I felt like making content on, brings in consistent new viewers, brings in consistent revenue, and allows me to go off and do fun things like stream on Twitch and try be entertaining. The next question comes from Green Thumb Gamer Girl, and she wants to know, do you need to build a social media following before starting to stream on Twitch? The answer to this isn't straightforward. It is a yes and it is a no. For example, if you looked at something like Instagram and Twitter and you tried to grow those before you started streaming, well, you're probably really going to struggle because the discovery on those platforms and the general growth tactics are really hard if you don't already have some sort of base following you. It is a massive grind. But then on the other hand, you have something that I never really consider social media. I consider them content platforms, which is TikTok and YouTube, where the discovery on these platforms is much easier to do. Easier isn't the right word. They require a lot of work, but at the same time, the discovery is valuable and very effective for growing a Twitch stream. One of my very first videos, I talked about how you can grow from 0 viewers to 25 viewers directly on Twitch without any external funnels and how you can do it in 25 to 60 days. And I truly believe that. But once you start reaching 25 average viewers, you're going to notice stagnation. You're going to notice you can't push past that viewership. Your velocity of growth equals out to the amount of people who get bored and leave. So how do you solve that? Well, you need something external, whether it's raids, collaborations, networking, or a YouTube or TikTok account with high discoverability. So to answer your question, do you need social media before you start streaming on Twitch? Well, you need to think about the fact that social media is split into 2 categories, engagement versus discovery. First, yes, you can start making YouTube content right now before you start streaming. I recommend doing them both at the same time, But if you can only do YouTube, then just focus on YouTube and build an audience. I have an entire playlist of about 6 or 7 videos now that cover everything you need to know to grow your YouTube channel as well. I've linked it at the top of the description. I really recommend checking it out. It covers everything, literally, I mean everything I've done on this channel to grow it from 0 to 82,000 subscribers. The second option for discovery, I will deep dive into more in a later video and also later in this video, but that is TikTok. Now, TikTok has a really good algorithm for discovery, and you can turn a lot of really short, snappy clips into TikToks, or just generally start posting your own entertaining little content on TikTok to grow an audience first. So that's discovery, but on the other side, we have engagement. Now, engagement platforms are Twitter and Instagram. Now, these are used to connect and directly talk to your audience and keep them updated and keep them in your community. For example, you can create a Twitter, a Discord, and an Instagram, and then use CTAs in your discovery platforms, such as YouTube, TikTok, or even Twitch, to push people to those, and then they'll be able to engage with your content as you post them on those platforms. That said, converting viewers from one platform to another platform is incredibly hard, but luckily, that was our next question, so let's just get into that one. So Mark Jr. TV asked this next question, and it was about how do you actually convince people to move from one platform, such as YouTube, to another platform, such as Twitch? And it's not easy, to say the least. Let's look at YouTube. YouTube is probably the easiest platform to convert people over to Twitch from. It's a very similar medium. It's video format to video format. It's medium format to long format, over to long format. Every single video, you need to be mentioning the fact that you are live over on Twitch and that you stream. You can do it in a subtle way. For example, you can just be like, hey, did you know that I stream over at twitch.tv/LJM_? There's a link in the description. You should absolutely check it out. And that is something you guys see at the start of every single video. It is a call to action, and while not every single person clicks it, enough people do that I start seeing growth. Another big note is that the content on one platform should be similar to the content on another platform. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. I do Twitch guides here, but over on Twitch, I do gaming and just chatting. But for example, if you do cooking videos, it's very unlikely that people are going to convert over to watch you on Twitch, click heads in Fortnite. It's really important to note as well that 1 or 2 videos won't do anything to grow your Twitch, even if it goes fully viral. You need to have a lot of consistent videos where you mention that call to action, because the more touches or the more times people hear you say, hey, I stream, the more likely they are to click over and watch you over on Twitch. Let's talk about TikTok in a second and some of the downfalls as well as the pros to it. But first, I want to throw it out there. YouTube is a great diversification for a Twitch streamer because it really takes the pressure off the stream. You have another funnel, so you don't always have to worry about playing the hit new game. And it also has a revenue income that isn't based on your audience. So therefore, you're kind of able to have a lot less stress, and you don't have to milk your audience to buy your merch or to sub. It's really, really important to look at the option of doing YouTube if you plan on doing this full time, which I will cover at the end of the video. So let's talk TikTok. It is much harder to convert people from watching something like a TikTok over to watching a stream. And that comes down to the format. I should say, disclaimer, it isn't impossible. It has been done, but you have to be a much more talented creator in order to do it. TikTok is all about farming those quick, easy impressions and getting as many people to watch you as possible in a very short span. It's called micro format content. Whereas Twitch is the complete opposite. It is long format content. It is 3 to 5 hour long streams, and you need people to be sat there watching you the entire time to build your average viewers up. Just from that example, you should be able to understand why those two audiences don't overlap properly. I've actually been talking to and working with a few TikTokers who are trying to grow their stream, and it's really interesting to see their go lives. They'll post on TikTok, or they'll go live on TikTok for a few seconds and say, hey guys, I'm going live over on Twitch. They'll get this huge influx of hundreds of viewers coming to their Twitch channel, and then it will just tank after 5 minutes back down to 20 or 30 viewers. And it's just because people don't want to watch that type of content. It isn't impossible, but you have to be very good at holding someone's attention and making sure they stick around for the stream. So if you're going to start with TikTok, maybe consider finding a really unique selling point to your Twitch stream, or try sending them to a medium format content like a YouTube channel with 5 to 10 minute long videos on it instead, or a Twitter account where you can engage with them directly and share your go lives. Our next question comes from someone who wants to be nameless, which is very funny because of the question they actually asked, and that is, how can I grow if I'm an introvert? I can't be loud and jumping around all the time. It just isn't me. And honestly, this is a really good question. You can 110% grow a Twitch stream by being a calm and relaxed streamer. Truthfully, if you're asking this, it kind of makes me feel like you haven't looked around the Twitch demographic much. You haven't done your research into the platform, because there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of creators on this platform making brilliant content. and they're not all loud and energetic and jumping around at all the time. I really recommend breaking out of the content that you're watching. Go watch other streamers here and there, check out new content creators, try new styles, and try and just generally get a feel for the platform. I always say that finding your niche and your style is crucial, but even more important is figuring out what the key demographic you want to appeal to is, and then making sure that you're always thinking about what they want to watch and trying to appeal to them. For example, if you do want to be the top Warzone streamer, then truthfully, you might want to think about trying to be a bit more confident, a bit more energetic, and a bit more, well, cocky, because the audience who watches those streamers tend to want to gravitate towards those content creators. But if you're playing something like Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, or any of those kind of relaxed games, it's totally fine to be quiet, chill, and just have a chat and pop some jokes off. It doesn't really matter. There is always an audience who wants to watch your content. You just have to polish your content and then find your audience. That's all. Next up, we have the brilliant question, how do I grow on Twitch if I'm not good at games? And I'm just gonna throw it out there. If I had to be good at games to grow on Twitch, I would be royally fucked. I'm gonna hijack this question because it is one of my biggest pet peeves as a content creator, is that people will come into my stream and they don't realize I'm not trying to be the best. I'm not trying to be FaZe. I'm not trying to be the 1% gamer god. I don't care about that. I feel like those chatters who come in find me from this YouTube channel and they're very much used to watching people like Ninja or Dr. Disrespect, and they don't understand there's different types of content creators out there. For me as a content creator, often it is far more entertaining for my viewers if I fail rather than if I succeed. And almost every single time someone succeeds, it is so much more entertaining and such a better moment if that person has struggled to succeed. And a small spoiler for anyone who watches my content, if you don't want the magic ruined, skip ahead 30-40 seconds, because I will tell you right now, there are hundreds of times where I have been live and could have easily pulled something off and purposely threw for content because it meant I got an extra hour of gameplay or a really good clip. That's just how it works. Just like that last question, you need to find your style and commit to it. For example, if I'm playing a really hard game like Dark Souls, I'll act super cocky and super confident. Oh, I'm not gonna die, or I've got this guy. I'm just gonna dodge this thing right here. And of course, I won't. And then chat will start spamming Omega lulls and they'll all clip it and it'll give me great content. My big takeaway here, there are a lot of different types of entertainment. And honestly, being good at games is one of the hardest forms of content to be entertaining at. And also, being good doesn't mean you're being entertaining as a streamer. Screw being good at games. I just want to have fun and make my chat laugh. And finally, we have the question you've all been waiting for, and that is by Eclipsed Fate. How do I know when to quit my job and start streaming full time? This is such a hard question and there is no cut and dry answer. All I can do is share my experiences and the things I put in place to make sure that myself and my family were comfortable and safe when I went full time, and then hopefully it'll help you guys. When I first started streaming, I was working as a video producer for myself. I ran my own business, which meant I could be flexible with my hours. I could move things around and make them work for me. As long as I worked 5 hours a day, 7 days a week on my job, it was fine. This meant when I started streaming, I was able to do full-time hours as a content creator straight away. To clarify, not full-time hours live. I think you guys are live far too much. I just mean that I did full-time hours working on my stream overall. I streamed 5 nights a week and I did 3 to 4 hours every single night. And then I'd also do about 3 hours worth of prep for each stream every single day. Of course, I would do this entirely after my main day job had finished. I always prioritized the job that was going to pay my bills and keep a roof over my family. That was the most important thing for me. Before I started this YouTube channel, if you tallied up the amount of hours I spent working on my stream and trying to grow it, I earned less than $1 per hour. But none of my stream's growth would have happened if I hadn't have put in that many hours and worked for that little to no money. Even without YouTube, my revenue was picking up and eventually I would have started earning a higher hourly rate. But YouTube is what really kicked off the ability to do this full time, which I'll explain properly in a second. Not everyone is as lucky as I am that you're able to move all your hours around and make things work for you so you can still cover your bills. And I totally understand that. You've got families, you've got commitments, you've got responsibilities, and you have jobs that are weekly schedules, so you just can't lock things in. My biggest advice to you then is to treat streaming as a hobby. Do your best to grow it, do your best to grow YouTube, do your best to do these things on the side, but always prioritize your loved ones and always prioritize your job that is paying your bills. I know it's a dream and I know everyone wants to do it, but you have to make sure you are safe and comfortable first. The reality is that most people won't make it. When I started this YouTube channel in August of 2020, and I actually started uploading videos weekly to it, you can actually see how badly my life balance was thrown off. If you look at the videos early on, I look actually dead. I look like a dried up raisin who can barely move. That's because despite the fact the YouTube channel was starting to pick up, and despite the fact that my Twitch was doing really well now, I kept working my day job all 7 days, 5 hours a day, all the way through, making sure that everything happened at the same time. And that's because I said to myself, I will not quit my day job that can cover my bills until I'm earning double or even triple just from content creation than my current day job does. And you're thinking, why double or triple? And that's because content creation is unstable. It might not work out. It all could just go away in a heartbeat. So I said to myself, if I don't earn that double, I wouldn't consider it safe and I wouldn't consider it a good idea to go full time. I needed the fallback in order to make sure that I could be a content creator and still look after my family. Everyone's situation is different. The key takeaway here is to diversify your income so that if one income funnel, such as your stream, starts dipping down, you'll have other income funnels such as sponsorships or YouTube videos that'll help you out. I have a video all about how I tripled my revenue and the things you can do to triple your revenue as well. It'll be linked in the description and on the channel. Otherwise, I hope this helps you guys out today, and I'll see you guys next week or over on my stream. Bye all.